CenturyNext Bank is proud to sponsor Digital Weather Desk with local meteorologist Jared Floyd.
The Digital Weather Desk is your local source for the latest weather information to help keep you and your family safe and to plan your week. You can follow us on our social media platforms, download our app, and you can also find us at digitalweatherdesk.com. The Digital Weather Desk,
Powered by CenturyNext Bank.
Hey everybody, good morning and welcome into the Digital Weather Desk powered by CenturyNext Bank. What's next for you? Visit cnext.bank for more, the exclusive banking partner of the Digital Weather Desk. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day on this Tuesday to take a look at the forecast. Fairly straightforward look at the forecast this morning. There's nothing dramatic changing in the forecast. Cloudy and some spotty showers will kind of fester over the next couple of days. And then we set the stage for better rain chances as we return this weekend. And we do expect some of those storms to produce some periods of heavy rainfall. There will likely be some sort of severe weather threat to go along with it. How concentrated, how focused that severe weather threat is, how widespread it is across the region, we just don't know yet. But it is something that we'll be watching. This morning's forecast made possible by the United Way of Northeast Louisiana, the 211 initiative. Again, the family relief effort is ongoing. To donate, you can text Family Relief, all one word, to 91999. And, of course, the 211 number is always there for any services that you may need. Some of our traffic cams seem to be moving a little sluggishly this morning, as is the case probably for some of our residents across the ArkLaMiss this morning on a Tuesday. A look at visibility across the area, and some spots are faring better than others. In general, most of us are fine, but parts of the river valleys are running into some issues this morning. Natchitoches is down to pretty limited visibility. Natch is down to 2 miles. So again, the Mississippi River Valley, the Red River Valley, perhaps seeing more of the issues to start the morning off. We are quite warm, or at least mild to start the day. Low 60s, some upper 50s sprinkled in here or there. 60 in Monroe, 61 in El Dorado and Vicksburg, 62 in Jena, and 61 in Monticello. Compare that to where we were a good 24 hours ago, and it's a noticeable change. Many spots are a few degrees warmer than they were at this point yesterday morning, but across southern Arkansas, it's a stark change. Some 10 to 15 degrees warmer than we were yesterday morning. So we will continue the warming trend. Cloud cover today with afternoon highs generally in the 70s. We'll get to the day planner in just a minute. Dew points are generally in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Again, pretty saturated environment, and that will allow the cloud cover to linger through much of the day, maybe even scour out a spotty shower, maybe even an isolated storm along the way. But again, severe weather threats, at least here in the short term, will remain low. Winds are out of the south and southwest and a bit breezy at times this morning, at least breezy for morning standards, in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. I wouldn't be surprised to see those pick up just a tad as we go through the rest of the morning and early afternoon. Your day planner made possible by the Monroe Chamber of Commerce and Leaders of Change. Learn more at monroe.org. The cloud cover again hangs with us, but we will continue to be well above normal for this time of year through much of the day, with temperatures eventually into the mid-70s by the end of the afternoon. Could see some peaks of sunshine, but I wouldn't get overly excited about it. Infrared satellite shows quite a bit of cloud cover starting to move back in across the area, and that again is the trend for the rest of the week. Wednesday, Thursday time frame, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame, all points to cloud cover, and we start to establish a very warm, humid, and relatively deep layered moisture environment to set the stage for the rain chances this weekend. May, good morning to you. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Check out the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Every shingle radar product made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection, commercial or residential, at brownsroofingla.com. A little bit of light radar reflectivity across portions of the Red River Valley this morning. And again, anything that we see rain-wise is likely to stay quite spotty and very light. So if you run into some showers or a shower, consider yourself somewhat fortunate. If you need the rain, most of us still need it. Lindsay, Karen, good morning. But most of us will generally stay dry in terms of rainfall. It'll be muggy out there, but the rain stays limited. Hey, wanted to zoom in just for a second because the radar can always pick up some cool stuff. Heather, good morning to you. As you take a look at this big burst of reflectivity, and I know a lot of folks probably go, oh, that was a big thunderstorm. It's not. Again, radar knows nothing about what it is picking up. It just measures and surveys the atmosphere and constantly looking for what's out there. Well, this morning along the Red River Valley, about 7 o'clock this morning, right around sunrise, was birds. Those are birds. And they will often at times, and I checked with the National Weather Service in Shreveport, they've actually seen them several times this season. That shows how little I've been paying attention. But right around sunrise, close to the radar site where it's easy to pick those types of things up, you'll have a big flock of birds take off at sunrise. And apparently they were headed north. They're faked into thinking that winter's over, so they're like, all right, let's go back north. That may be the case. It may just be a daily cycle. I don't know what kind of birds they are. Maybe you know, but I don't. Anyway, just want to show those. Joy, Evelyn, Renita, Jan, good morning. Evelyn says it's foggy in Vidalia this morning. Thank you so much for sharing. Like I said, I expected Faraday and Vidalia and Natchez and some of these areas along the Mississippi Valley to probably have some fog this morning, especially the farther south you go. So not a big surprise, but exercise caution as you head out and about this morning. Check of Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe shows as the front sinks into our area tonight, we could see some showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm or two across southern Arkansas. There's not a lot of forcing in the environment, not a lot of upper-level meat to work with in terms of storm potential in our area, so most of our rainfall likely stays fairly spotty. It could linger through much of the morning hours on Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon looks dry, and then you can kind of see the environment that we start to establish, very warm and humid ahead of the storm system that'll move toward the area on Saturday. Now, this computer model ends at 96 hours, so this is as far out as we can go as you see the storms to the west. So let's go to a lower resolution image. This is the 15K model, just going through the rest of the day Saturday, and you can kind of see as this storm system continues to ooze eastward, the storms that are expected to go along with it. And again, it could make for kind of a gross day. Our surface map didn't move, probably because it only goes out 96 hours. I should have deleted that out, but I'm not going to delete it out. You can see that as the storm system continues to advance off to the east, everything that is associated with it, the rain, the thunderstorms, most of that gone by Sunday morning. Look at the forecast rainfall. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. This is not my forecast. This is an agency forecast, if you will. I think it's pretty good. It does trim the rain totals back a little bit more conservatively. A lot of the area was painted in 2-inch rain totals over the next 7 days. Still generally in the 1.5 to 2-inch range for a good chunk of the region. Again, storm-driven rain totals will lead to a wide array of rain totals across the region. And I don't say that just to say it. I mean it, because I think a lot of folks, when I say, storm-driven totals can lead to some vastly different totals. That's what happened with the ice storm. We had a lot of convective thunderstorm-driven ice totals, which is really, really weird to say. And that led to some extreme totals in some areas. So some spots, if you don't pick up a lot of thunderstorm activity on Saturday, may only pick up a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. But if you pick up some consistent thunderstorms for an extended period of time, 1.5, 2 inches, 2.5 inches of rain is not out of the realm of possibilities. Storm-driven rains can do some weird stuff. Where did I leave off on the good mornings? Patty, Karen, Rita, Susie, Janet, Jeannie, good morning. If you got a double mention, consider yourself lucky. Mid to upper 70s today. Cloudy and warm. A stray shower not out of the question. Could see some peaks of sunshine late. Winds will be out of the south-southwest. Lows tonight, low 60s. Clouds continue. A spotty shower or storm not out of the question. Winds will stay out of the southwest. Again, rain chances up to 30%, maybe even to 40% in some locations. I do have them at 40% for our southern parishes and county, or our northern parishes and counties. And we really just kind of set the stage for rain chances to kind of fester through the second half of this week. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Staying in the 70s second half of the week. Morning lows generally 50s and 60s. We keep an eye on Saturday with the storm threat maybe bringing severe thunderstorms back into the region, or at least the threat for strong to severe thunderstorms. Again, haven't highlighted that day in red just yet. Also, for folks that are wondering, what does the Storm Prediction Center say about this? There is no outlooked area for Saturday yet. I would expect to see one in the coming days, just simply because as we get the finer tuned details of this forecast, I do expect it to at least bring some severe weather potential back to parts of the area, at least, if not the entire region. I think it'll probably be the entire region. We'll see some degree of strong to severe storm threat. But the heavy rain and storms will be a part of the forecast on Saturday, regardless of severe weather. That's the uncertain part of the forecast. The one thing that does look pretty certain is we're going to deal with rain and thunderstorms on Saturday. So if you have outdoor plans, start thinking of indoor alternatives. If you had a big outdoor dinner planned for Valentine's Day, bad year for that. Move it inside somewhere. I do know, and I've also already been in contact with the folks getting ready for Bayou Jam, for baseball and softball. That's this weekend. Rain's going to be in the forecast. Storms will be in the forecast. Lightning will be in the forecast. All of that will be a possibility timing is going to be critical. I think the early parts of festivities on Saturday, if you're going to be outside, probably are okay. Latter part of the day gets dicey, and it could get dicey relatively quickly. Again, not necessarily saying severe thunderstorms, but thunderstorms, stuff that you're not going to want to be outside in. And Miss Bonnie, thank you so much for joining in. That's a look at the forecast on this Tuesday. Your Too Long Didn't Read set to go out about 9:30 this morning. I will join you at around 11ish for our midday stream. I have a lunch meeting at 11:45, so instead of, well, we may just wait. Why don't we just wait till after lunch? Yeah, let's do that. Let's wait till after lunch. That way we can get the European model data in. We can kind of hash out what we think the latest with that severe weather threat will be. So let's just aim for like 1 or 1:30. My wife and kid are going out of town for the next couple of days. So the schedule gets a smidge more flexible, not necessarily in a positive way because it gets really quiet around here when they're gone. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? So we can push that evening stream a little bit later into the evening because I just gotta worry about feeding myself. So that's pretty easy because there's leftover pizza in the refrigerator. Again, forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. Links to download are at digitalweatherdesk.com. Louisiana Cooker on YouTube, good morning. Jenny, good morning. Thanks for joining us live. And thanks to all of you for joining us live. If you haven't joined us live, you can always check the latest forecast right here. These videos are always kind of available on demand, if you will, for you to check the latest forecast. They're not meant for you to join live, but if you do join live, great. We'd love to have you here. Thanks so much for being part of the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, a very large weather community in the ArkLaMiss. We're glad you're here, and you're glad that you're part of it. I'll check in with you around midday, shortly after lunch, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.
My name's Chris O'Byrne. I'm with Brown's Roofing. There's a common misnomer in the insurance restoration industry that taking an insurance claim start to finish is similar to remodeling a bathroom. Well, in fact, there's a lot of red tape on the process. Sometimes major adjustments are needed to be able to get the work done and get the work done right. It is very important for an educated representative to get with you today and walk you through this process start to finish. Your peace of mind is our top priority.